Did you know that upper limits do not only show up in big situations? Welcome to Tools to Manifest Your Dream Life with myself, Glenise Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. We are currently at a house in St. Albert, which is basically part of Edmonton, Alberta in Canada, and you might see a cute little orange kitty join somewhere here because he's right there. He also might bump the camera, so I do apologize for that if you're watching this via video. This is an invitation to my upcoming Upper Limit Experiment, which is a 6-week book club based on The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Link is above or below or in the show notes, and if you don't see it, just reach out and I'll get it for you. So our upper limits can of course show up in the big moments, but it can also show up in just ordinary moments, where it doesn't look like failure or self-sabotage or a big mistake. It can be in those very ordinary moments. A quick reaction, a small decision, a split-second response. And those moments can tell you everything about your ability to receive. Once you start paying attention to those moments, you'll start to become aware of your patterns. Patterns that silently cap success, ease, support, and growth. So as I said earlier, this upper limit comes from Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. And he believes each one of us has an internal thermostat for how much success, happiness, love, money, ease feels normal. When any of those areas of our life start to rise up, our nervous system reacts, because the situation feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel unsafe. And yes, that's Mango. He has 3 legs. And then our system tightens. You might resist help, create pressure, pull back, take control, one of my favorites, make something harder than it needs to be. These reactions often happen quickly, automatically, without much thought. And that is why everyday moments are so powerful. They show you your pattern in real time. Last week, I went for lunch with a friend, and we spent the entire, I believe it was 2 hours, talking about receiving and the universe, and it was incredible. I was so inspired. As we went to pay, the cashier rang it in all together, and I automatically blurted out, "Take mine out." I was horrified that it was just automatically added, even though my friend had mentioned that we were paying separate. The cashier explained that he couldn't actually just take mine out. So my friend offered to pay, which was extremely uncomfortable. I know that if she would have offered to pay from the beginning, it would have been way less uncomfortable. But in this situation, it felt like, in a sense, she was being forced to pay, which wasn't the case, because he just meant he had to re-ring it in. He could cancel it and then separate it. But in that moment, she chose to pay for it, and that's where my discomfort came. It was an unusual experience in terms of the receiving of it. But what was so loud was how the universe was showing me, even though we had just spent 2 hours talking about receiving and all of the yumminess, in the moment when I was faced with the possibility of receiving more in a different sort of way, it was difficult. And then my system went straight into control. I needed to fix it. I needed to correct it. I needed to pull $20 out of my purse to give to my friend. And I knew that none of it was receiving. The simple possibility to receive, the simple offer of kindness by my friend, and my immediate reaction to manage the situation. That's what an upper limit can look like in real life. Not dramatic, just automatic. That moment gifted me so many things. And the biggest one was how my system will still tighten and react in situations where I could be receiving. And it becomes great information because now I am even more aware when I'm uncomfortable receiving, and I can take a moment and check in with myself without managing, without jumping in to fix it, but just taking a moment check in what is actually going on, and if it's a situation where I can receive, to actually receive it. Another everyday example is when someone gifts you a compliment. I get a lot of compliments on my glasses. If you've been around and you've watched my videos, you will know that I have lots of different glasses. And in fact, I just got some Pair eyewear, which means I have all of these different kind of clip-on things, and it's amazing. So when I get compliments on my glasses, it's so easy for me to say thank you and truly receive it. It's when it shows up in different ways than I expected. Maybe I feel like I'm having a bad hair day and someone compliments my hair. I automatically go into, oh, it's not very good today, or, oh, I need a haircut, or something where I'm ensuring that I don't receive because I've added the idea that I shouldn't receive. With my glasses, of course I'm willing to receive them. I love them too. That's why I have so many of them. And with things that I'm maybe not as willing to receive, it's just once again really interesting to notice the information. Notice where I've decided I shouldn't receive, or I can't receive, or not worthy of receiving, whatever the energy is behind that, and to practice receiving anyway. And so if receiving compliments is something that you struggle with, I highly recommend to really practice receiving, so that when somebody says something and they're giving you a compliment, you stop, you don't say anything, you acknowledge what's going on within your body. I mean, it takes a fraction of a second. And then you just simply say, thank you. You don't explain it away. You don't justify it. You don't push it away. You don't resist it. You say, thank you. And it will get easier. You may never be able to fully receive a compliment about your hair on a bad day, but you will start receiving it more and more and more, the more that you choose to just receive it. Now, another common way that we don't receive is through asking for help. Maybe we're hosting an event and we're feeling overwhelmed and there's so much to do and we're getting things ready, and somebody says, can I help you with that? Often our response will be, no, thank you, I've got it. Now, I shouldn't say we. I shouldn't pull you into this automatically. I know it's one of my things. I had a Facebook friend message me a couple of weeks ago, and she was asking for some information that she knew that I had. And so I happily assisted her with the information she needed. And then she asked how she could support me. And it kind of took me by surprise. And I really wondered about it. I was like, oh, if I could ask this person anything, for any support, what would I ask them? And in that moment, I didn't actually have anything. There was nothing that came to mind. So I left it. I didn't even reply back to her. The next day, there was a situation that came up, and I was like, oh my gosh, of all the people I could ask, I know that she's experienced this. So I was able to say, hey, I actually just had this occur. How would you handle it, or what should be my next steps? And she was very gracious in assisting me. It worked out really well. And of course, we don't have to do one for one. If you ask for assistance from somebody, you don't have to ask what they need to help out, like not a give and take sort of a situation. I get when she offered me that at the end of me assisting her, it wasn't from that energy, the give or take. And this is the energies we often talk about, because here in this reality, we're often doing the give and take. I will give you this and you will take that, or I will take that and give you this type of thing. But really, most of us, especially if you are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, it is truly more where we are gifters and receivers. So in me gifting you this podcast, you can receive it. And in your receiving of it, you're actually gifting to me, and I can receive that gift. So in true gifting and receiving, we don't really know who the gifter is and who the receiver is. It's this beautiful continuous flow of energy. And that's where we naturally operate from, this gifting and receiving. Even when you are operating from, would you like this? Or how can I support you? Or what about this? Just check in energetically. Is this a gifting and a receiving? Is this a flow of energy where both parties are getting lifted up by what's going on? To me, that's just such a beautiful way to operate because it's our natural state. So I just wanted to share today a few different ways that you might not be receiving, that you might not have been aware of, that you can start paying attention. And I invite you to join us for the upper limit experiment. I am so excited to dive into this book with you guys and really start changing these patterns so that we can truly receive everything that the universe is gifting us. And by the universe, I mean everything, right? The universe energetically, the earth, the beautiful homes, the beautiful animals, the beautiful people, like truly receive everything as if by magic. So once again, the link is in the show notes, or if you're watching on video, above or below. If you can't find it, please reach out. I'm happy to share it with you. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again soon.